on this computer. All right, cool. So now we are officially recording, and now let's share screens. Awesome. Let's do an exit HESI review. All right, so this is just going to be a back and forth banter, and we're going to start breaking things apart. Now, my darling dear, do you remember going through any of these before?
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool. So this is going to be a great opportunity. So we're going to go through. Have you seen the 7 Principles video by chance?
I did watch that, yes.
How do you feel about it?
I only watched it once and it was a long time ago. I do need to go back and do a refresher.
For sure. So this is a game changer, and it's a lot. The glare. Oh, gross. Okay, better. Hi. So this is a game changer, and it's a concept that we need to definitely start now because we have 6 days, right? We have plenty of time to do it. So there's 7 principles. The biggest one I want you to focus on is obviously the first one. It's like a 30-minute video. Watch it. And I explain how they all break down. And then what we do is we then jump on these meetings or groups, and we break down the question, we dissect it. So what we do is we basically get this ball, and then we explode it out into its big components, and then we implode it back in and pack it together, and then we're done, right? The information is there. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your time, and I want you to look at this question. And we're going to talk about some things I already see, and I'm not even reading the words. I'm just looking at the sheer size of things. I can tell you right now definitively, I haven't even read the question. Yeah, I see the answer right now because it's using the first principle, which is the principle of one of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. And what that is where something sticks out like a sore thumb, kind of like an outlier. I don't know anybody who sticks out like a sore thumb is an outlier, right? At all. So I would definitely not know how to pick those out. So do me a favor, read it, and then read your answer bank and see if you can figure it out. And remember, you're going to mess up. It's cool. We're in the sandbox. This is just a test. But don't double entendre because it really is.
Is it disturbed sleep pattern?
I don't know. Is it disturbed sleep pattern? It is
No.
not. Okay. So let's talk about it. First off, this is what I like to call a way too much info question. So this is overkill. Now, if you have an overkill situation, it's going to be a blatant distortion of the way we would have normal human speech. So understand the depth and breadth of my speech. I have pauses, I have influx, I have higher pitch, I have lower pitch, right? There is a wave form to the way I speak, right? My vibration is low, my tone is low. I don't have a lot of amplitude. I'm not shouting, right? Okay, cool. Look at this. I'm going to read it to you. Close your eyes. Do me a favor. Close your eyes. Just go there with me. Hang out in my brain for a second. Close your eyes and then imagine and paint a picture in your head of what I'm saying. A client who has been taking finasteride, an enzyme 5 alpha reductase inhibitor used to shrink the prostate gland, is admitted because of a continuing benign prostatic hypertrophy BPH symptoms when planning care. Which nursing problem should the nurse address first? Holy bejesus. How about that? That was a lot. So what did I get out of all of that was actually important? I got a couple of things. I don't even care what the med is because here are the keywords I found using my brain: shrink and prostate gland. Now let's talk about that. So prostate gland, what does it get in the way of? What's its location? Ish. I'll even take ish. What's its location? We don't need to know all the goods and ins and outs.
Beside the urethra for the male.
And if it gets too big, what happens? What's going on, kid? Shame. So if we get in this position where we have a prostate gland that's too swollen, what happens?
Oh, okay, I see. Yep.
Then
Urinary
we
retention.
don't go chasing waterfalls because we can't make one, duh, because we are occluding the area. We are effectively, this is our urethra, right? We're getting pee through there. And then all of a sudden what we're doing is, we are closing that bad boy up. So by default, we know that this has to do with what system? The urinary system, perhaps? Yes. So by default, all we have to do is find the thing that has to do with urine. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, cool. When you see a long-winded question like this, don't waste your time. You need to find the trigger words that gives us the information that says, hey, dummy, this is what we really want. Because I don't need to know anything about that med. I don't need to know what it does. All I need to know is the word shrink and prostate gland and know that the direction we're going to is urine. It's not wound for infection. It's not mental health for disturbed sleep pattern or circadian rhythm drama, right? It's not chronic pain because I didn't punch him in the teeth. Done. Nursing is what? Be still thine heart, et tu brute. Nursing is
Did you
what?
say nursing was easy?
Nursing is what?
I mean, I think it's hard, but don't you say it's easy?
It's common sense. You learned nothing. Do you remember nothing? I'm just joking. It's fine. I say it enough, so I said it again. Nursing is common sense. All right. So let's do another one. Are we intrigued? Are we at least intrigued?
I am.
Cool. I got one. If I got one, good to go. Let's do it. Now, this is a slower, smaller, lower question. It's short and sweet and to the point. I like this question. But there's one caveat with this that is going to bum you out and make you miss this. And there's a hack that I have for it, and you're going to love me. So you guys try to figure it out. Come back with me. I'm going to go grab water because I'm going to be. Okie dokie, smokies. Let's do this thing. What do we think? Y'all, it is 9/11 and it is my day off. Somebody needs to give me a salute, please. Y'all act like y'all don't already know. What are we thinking?
I have a crying baby.
Yeah. I get that. I do. Courtney, my friend, can you talk?
Yeah.
Georgia just came out your mouth. Let's talk about what that meant. It's like, girl, I don't even want to, I can't even right now. I feel your vibes. Listen to me, babe. Let's get that battery and then let's flip it, right? Hold on, let me do it again because that was kind of fly. Let's flip it, right? Let's flip the battery. Stop it, okay? We got to keep pushing. We're almost there. If we start slacking now, we're going to get screwed and we're going to have to do this again. Let's use our brains, okay? Let's shut into the machine. All right, let's go ahead and stop right now. Man versus machine. So if you guys notice, there's a lot of sides to me and there's a reason for it. It's because living with a diversional, neurodivergent kind of an issue means that I have to be everybody for everyone. I have to be the chameleon. I have to mask. And in masking, I've created like this super nice, beautiful cage for the kid that never got to be a kid because I've had to live in your world, but not exist. I had to exist separately, right? So you have to learn to build the machine from within. The machine is tough. It doesn't care about how you feel. I know that sounds brash, but when you're homeless, you don't have a choice. All right. When you're a single mom at 18 and you're on your own, living under the 91 freeway, hoping that, you wish upon a star and it comes true one day, something happens deep within your soul and it locks in a code. And that code then becomes downloaded in your body, and it turns into a lot of things, sometimes rage, sometimes anger, sometimes hate, sometimes frustration. But if you find the beauty within it, you'll find that with it comes strength and light. And you want to talk about your own personal brand of whatever addiction that you have, buddy, you can't get enough. So in doing that, you have to make yourself the machine. You have to exist and persist past the point of exhaustion, only for a little. Because remember, when we're walking out of a building and someone is bloody and leaving a trail as they're coming in, do you think I'm going to go to my car? Or do you think I'm going to give myself a little kick up and pick up and turn my little butt around and do the right thing? Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. But the thing is somebody's always watching. That person is you. So let that be a lesson. Push through, find the machine, put the human down, let the human rest. Learn the pattern, learn the code. Put yourself on left brain mode. Hey, you like that rhyme, huh? Wicka, wicka, what? So come on. Pump it up. Let's do it. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for your dream.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna be wrong though.
What? Hey, take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath. Remember what you know. All you're gonna do is give it a go. Again, with these rhymes. I swear, is it Dr. Seuss's birthday? What is going on right now? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, isn't the test for warfarin the PT test? So would it be C?
Let's see
See.
if it is. Sorry, I was cheerleading up for you. All right, listen. See, sir. It's like, all right, cool. Now let me show you this hack. Here's the fun thing. So let's get this little drawy thingy, because there is a hack for PT and INR and APTT that will give you the idea. So here's the caveat. So warfarin is what? What is the other name for it?
Is that Coumadin?
Coumadin, yeah. And then we have heparin, and heparin is, well, it's heparin sodium, right? So we have these two, and then what is their objective? What do they both do?
Blood thinners.
Thinners, yeah, they make you thin so good, right? So it's cool. It's kind of like being, a derivative of a hemophiliac. So you bleed, right? So then let's talk about the simple things. What happens when you take these medicines?
Thins your blood.
Thins your blood. And then what happens as a result of your blood thinning? Think about me. You know me. You know I have a derivative of hemophilia. We all know it. Okay, so then what happens to me when you see me? What does my skin look like? Okay, let's start there. What does my skin look like? It's light, but what else do we have that's very unique to what I am? I have tinges of blue everywhere in my skin, guys. Like, give it a go. Give it a look. Look at my arms. I got pinches of blue everywhere. It's bizarre. You can see it in my face. It's up under my eyes. There's a whole entire patch right here of it. It's everywhere. So it's just what we do. So now that we know that, I'm at risk for what?
Bleeding.
Okay. And what else is the scary part about bleeding? What do we have to be at risk for? I'm an older person.
Bruising?
Bruising. Let's go there. Let's stay there for just a second. Good. I am a person on Coumadin, And I am an older person who is extremely tired because, well, they have to have thinner blood, and I move a little bit slower because I'm older. And on top of that, I bruise pretty easy. So what happens if I fall? When I'm on this medication, what would happen if I'm on this med that makes you bleed and I fall and I hit my head?
Oh, like,
You'd bleed out because it won't clot.
Worse. But I like where you're going with that. But worse is the answer, actually, because let's think about it. In the head, do we have sutures that do this number right here like we do in our knees? Do we have that
swelling.
tissue and synovial fluid? No, it's all closed loop. So if I got blood swelling in this brain, guess what that brain's doing? It's shifting to the side. It's squeezing and pushing your brain to the side. What would you be doing in that instant? Well, you'd be dying because it would be crushing the most important part of your brain, which is this little buddy down here. And it's snapping and cutting that line. So here's the hack for how do I remember this? And why did I go over all of that? Because when you're dealing with Coumadin and heparin, you're going to get the following questions. I would be writing this down if I were you. Oh my God, Molly, that's cheating. No, because I'm going to give you a derivative of questions that I have read, gone over, did myself, whatever, because you know what? I have done the work. 13 years of work. So show me my source and then say that I'm cheating. And then we can go toe to toe, because that's not a thing. I have knowledge. Within that knowledge, I have statistics. Within the statistics, I know the theme of the game because I have knowledge and I apply myself with source. Period. DT. All right, listen. Coumadin, warfarin. I want you to write the word warfarin right now. And then at the end of the word warfarin, I want you to circle ARIN. Hang on with me now. Separate the A and the RIN, and you have AINR is the lab for warfarin sodium. How do you like that? INR is literally in warfarin. Now, a way that I remember how serious warfarin is it's called war. War is bad. War does what? Creates chaos and fighting, which does what? Creates blood because you spill it, because you're fighting. That's a really good way to remember warfarin, isn't it? All right. And then INR for warfarin. Now let's do heparin, because the same rules apply with heparin. However, what's the difference between heparin and warfarin? There's one difference. Big one.
Is it one is short term and one is long term?
Nice. I love that for you. Who was that? Who was that?
Rhea.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. So that's the deal. So our heparin over here, this guy is what's called low molecular weight. So what happens is once I inject this person with this medication is good for just a hair bit of a time. If I stop a drip at that point, that drip gives me 15 minutes to get that drip back on, or it was if I had done nothing at all. Now, the good news about this, and the reason we use heparin in this fashion, is if I have a patient who I believe is having a myocardial infarct or a heart attack, why is this concerning? What is happening internally to the body system? Again, I'm giving you answers to the questions that you need. I'm just not doing it your way. I'm doing it my way, and my way is backwards learning. Okay. This is proctored rebirth, if you will. There, I just made a theory. Proctored rebirth theory. It's a thing. It's on camera. Cool. So in proctored rebirth theory, you have to go through an exploration of your own understanding of things so that you can rebirth an idea that was once misinformed. So you rechannel and charge an idea and then turn the light back on it so that you have enlightenment of it so that you can then do well on the exam. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Am I killing you with philosophical? I'm sorry. You know how.
No.
All right, cool. Listen, if I didn't love you, I'd just give you the answers and go. This is just dumb, right? Well, people live and die by our hands. We got to do what's the right thing to do, period, point, and paragraph. So I'm trying to find that little draw tool. Probably another draw tab. Jeez, Molly. All right, cool. Let's do red. And I don't like that red. Let's do purple. That's gonna go weird. This is gonna work. All right, cool. Let's see. Ha ha. All right, cool. So APTT. This is what I want you to write. AP, we'll make little tiny ones. This is the test that we get for heparin. It's called an APTT. I put these two T's to the side because what happens is when two people love each other very, very much, they get close to each other and they kiss. And what do? They make an H. H for heparin. Does that help you? Friends, does that help?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool. Like, I don't mean for you to, it's not about feeding the ego, guys. I literally need to know if what I am putting down, you guys are picking up, because if not, then I need to change my vibration and frequency like that. And we need to get back on the train. All right. Cause it's a rolling. We ain't stopping. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, won't stop. I just had a Dave Chappelle moment. All right, cool. Let's do this one. Okay. Thoughts?
Something.
All right, let's use the principles that we know. What's principle number one? Let's just start right there. What's principle number one?
Something's not, one thing is not like the other.
Right, one of these things is not like the other, one of these things does not belong. Perfect. All
Yeah.
right. So then find the outlier. Look for the outlier. Remember what you know regarding chronic venous insufficiency. So let's talk about what are the signs and symptoms of chronic venous insufficiency. This is the part where you're Googling it and you're looking up the symptoms if you don't know. This is how I studied when I was in college the first time. This is how I study now in college the however manyth time, right? Like I don't even count. I just go. So what are we thinking here? Chronic venous insufficiency. So what's the caveat? If it's venous, do we want stockings? Yes or no? Do we want TED hose?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
What is the purpose of the venous system?
So that'll be like your blood flow.
Okay. So I need someone to give me a Google right now. And I need for you to Google, because again, I'm teaching you how to study when I'm not here, because I'm going to do these classes for you. I'm happy to do it. You guys know that. But I need for you to learn how to study like I did until you get your own study habit. Because if we're talking about venous insufficiency and you don't know the answer to this is a red flag, guys. This is a common situation with patients. If it's a common situation with patients, it's commonly going to be on your test. Please understand, the name of the game is knowing your opponent in this world. Okay. Not to kill them, not to hurt them, but know your opponent so that you could achieve success around a situation that is going to be detrimental if you do not study it. Got it? Not being funny, just being honest with you. Okay. I love you. That's why I say these things.
Would it be A? Because drinking water with 8 ounces of water per day and sitting outside the bed and laying down because you have
For you to do that thing that you do and you glean on your shine, girl, because you know what you are. And then you sit here and play these games of, I don't know if I'm going to be good enough. And then I'm like, why? And then we do this. And then you're like, well, I think it might be. And then it is before you even finish your little whatever backpedal you were working into. Like, I love you. Guess what? I see the time and it's a clock. Let's do this. I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep moving. Look, keep moving. Let's do it. What we got? If you ask another, I can hear you reading. Stop reading. $9.28. Okay.
E.
Sorry, what?
White blood cell, WBC count.
Okay. Anyone else?
Same
I
thing.
don't think it's the white blood. Oh, was it with the white blood cell?
Yes.
I thought the white blood cell only shows if there's an infection.
No. Let me ask you a question. All right. So white blood cells, what's the purpose?
I thought it shows for when you have an infection.
That's not the purpose of a white blood cell. Find the purpose of a white blood cell. Look it up. I'm making a point here. This is very important. This is also going to explain this one out for you. Read me the purpose of a white blood cell.
It says it's a major component of the body's immune system.
Bingo. Keep going.
also be
Infections for white blood cell count include infectious and inflammatory diseases.
And inflammatory
and injured.
diseases. Let's
Okay.
back up the train. Okay, that was the hydraulics. I'm sorry. All right, so here's the deal. How it works is if I am a surgeon and I have to cut you open, but it's an elective surgery, do I have an infection prior to the procedure?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No.
I want to get my jaw beautiful because you know what? I want to look like this. Because that's beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get some junk ripped out of my face. And then what do? I create an incision. And in doing that, I create the mediators of an inflammatory process based off of that trauma. No? Simple? All right. So this is how this works. So when I do that, I have created that out of nothing because of this mediated response. So what it does is it goes, oh, heck no, somebody's trying to get up in my camp. You can suck it. And then it defends. Yeah, got it? So although it is good at showing infection, if I come out of surgery within just a few hours, if I get a white blood count, that count is going to be exponentially higher and would indicate that we would have an infection and the patient is not even 24 hours post-op. There's no time for it to even brew for it to be an infection. It was the fact that we cut it open and sent a process and a mayday signal out that caused the flux. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really important. And I'm glad that we asked the question because if you wouldn't have raised that question to me, I wouldn't have known that that was a barrier and a gap. And how I know that it was a barrier and a gap is nobody else said nothing, did nothing. I didn't hear nobody's TV on because all ears were tapped in and tuned in. And that's beautiful. Remember, guys, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. There's a reason for it. You should be listening twice as much as you speak in this world. Unless your weight within your words carries far. And then shine, baby, shine, right? We're all gonna get there. We're all doing it together. So did I answer this question? Do we feel good about it? Can I move on to the next?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Here we go.
Would it be
A long question.
A,
Okay. Anybody else? So I heard B and B only accurate. It's
I
A.
said A? Yeah, because I felt like there was like to assess your patient and to if there's something going on before. I don't know. I just felt like you would assess them first, like they take their vitals first.
No, we're 10 questions or 5 questions in. Let's dissect this question. Again, what is the theme of this question? Is it a long question? Is it a short question?
A long question.
Long question.
Long question. Remember, long-winded question means stupid, simple answers. I had a best friend in the whole wide world back in the day who told me, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, let me talk about the smartest person I know in that area of my life, the bar none smartest person, because you got a big old fat concept and it's something stupid simple. So when you see this, flag in your brain, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, which means the dumb answer's in here. So let's break it down for what it is. After several days of coughing and taking acetaminophen to treat temperatures of 101 degrees. All right, after we're going to play the game of etymology, which is where we dissect questions and we find the pattern. Are you guys cool with this? I know it takes a little bit longer, but we got 6 days to do this, and I need for you to know it and know it right, or don't know it at all. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. After several days of coughing and taking acetaminophen to treat temperatures of 101. Now, caveat, at any point, have we confirmed this temperature?
No.
Ooh. Let's explore that idea. Let's keep going. All right. So temperature of 101, a client with diabetes is admitted to the hospital with an upper respiratory infection. So now at this point, I've heard he's been taking a crap ton of acetaminophen. He's got a cold of sorts. He says he has a 101 temp, but we can't confirm or deny that. And several hours after admission, the client reports having a severe headache and feeling dizzy. Severe headache and feeling dizzy.
So we would need to take our own vitals instead of listening to like what he reported when he came in. We don't know.
Confirm that the temp is 101. He could be Pinocchio and it could be like, see how that works? So we're the professionals. We understand the ins and outs of the system. So who's to say that this guy, for whatever reason, didn't come straight out of a bath? It wasn't feeling well, felt a little weak and sick because he stood up, because he's orthostatic hypotensive, because he's vasodilated all of his stuff, right? Because he's sitting in a hot bath. He gets dizzy. He goes, oh no, I'm getting sick. Let me take my temperature. He takes it. What's his internal temperature, guys? It's in the 101 range because I've just been sitting in a freaking hot bath. Right? So we don't know the story behind it, and we don't have time to deal with it. So we will simply just reassess the vital signs ourselves and have the answer. Got it? Easy? Oh, let me break it down one other way. Obtain sputum for culture. Obtain a finger glucose. Administer an antipyretic. Have we confirmed the temperature? Let's say that again. Have we confirmed the temperature? No. All right. Obtain a finger stick glucose. Did we say that he is hypoglycemic? No, we said he has diabetes. We didn't say that he was cold and clammy and on the ground. Nope. Take that away. Obtain sputum for culture. Admitted to the hospital with a respiratory infection. Okay, maybe. But are we actually doing anything with this? No, a sputum culture takes days. We're not going to get an answer, but we will get an answer in 2.5 seconds if I know that my temperature is 101 for sure. Yeah? Okay. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Also, the active versus passive, I believe it's principle number 3. I could be wrong. All right, so here's another one. And we're going to speed this up just a little bit, okay? Because this is going pretty good. You probably can't see that. Okay, let's try it.
B. Oh, no, that's probably wrong.
Ooh, I was waiting on it. I am no, I love you so much. You look me dead in the eye. I'm looking at the green dot right here. Look, I don't know if I look cross-eyed or not because there's two dots, whatever. Listen, I want you to rewind that moment in time on this that's previously recorded, and here's what you will find. You will find that the second before you did that, I did this look. The sly girl, I feel you creeping into my cable channel. And girl, you are playing games with your mind, and I'm about to snap you shut. And that is exactly what happens. So rewind it after this is done. And it's so funny. So funny. Because I did. I was like, I heard your voice, and I was like, here comes the back, pedal back, pedal back, pedal back. Now lean back. All right, my darling. Keep going. We're gonna say B, is that right? We're gonna go for B.
I don't know. Oh, I was right. Okay.
Nosferatu. Here, you woman. Come on. You know better. You know.
Yeah.
You all do. Come on. Don't be all baka. Come on. You're smart. All right, I'm gonna go take a potty break. You guys do your thing. This one's gonna take you a second to read. Oh God, I can't even stand to look at it. There's so much. Hi, come on.
B.
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 Let's see if it's B.
B.
Did we say B, boy, D, dog? What are we doing?
B and boy.
Boy.
Gotcha.
Boy.
I got it. Perfect. All right, again, another long-winded question. How do we get there? Talk to me.
Because of course they just had surgery, so of course they're going to be in pain.
Yeah.
So you want to control their pain and just monitor their pain and like watch their vital signs.
But are you sure?
What that I'm supposed to do?
100%.
I'm joking. You're right.
Oh.
I was messing with you. I just messed with you. I love I miss you so much. This is why I mess with you. This is my way of saying I miss you. I just act goofy. Right? This is my human existence as whatever the heck I am, right? So yikes. This is good. Okay, go.
D? Yeah.
Why though?
I don't know if my answer is right, but I just thought of the levels and it was out of the normal range, so I just said D. No.
Woman, what are our sodium levels, friends? Give me sodium levels.
135 to 145.
Yikes, what happens if it's too high? Give me parameters for hypocalcemia or hypercalcemia. What happens to me? Or wow, any day. Somebody help me out here. Hypernatremia. There we go. Now that we know that that's an answer. Sorry, I have a rando fly in the house for some reason. Now that we know that. How significantly high is it? And what happens if it's too high? Furthermore, what happens if it's too low? Because guess what? This will be on there for sure. This concept will be on there in some shape, form, or fashion. So you need to know the range.
Right.
If
So I knew the range.
You know, too low and too high and what that means. Because if there's this one, there'll be other ones that are close to it. Okay. But you're right. And you got there. I don't care how you get there. As long as you get there. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, I figured,
Go ahead.
no, I was just looking at a process of elimination. I know like the heart rate is also a little high, but I figured the serum sodium was way higher than that, which is more serious than the elevated heart rate.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we know about hypernatremia? Tell me what the signs and symptoms are. You absolutely need to know this. This is important for, oh God, this is important for endocrine because of what? Thyroid. Okay. So like if
So like urinating and
what's that?
diarrhea, confusion, muscle twitching,
Keep going.
seizures.
Keep going.
God, now I gotta look it up because that's all I had.
Friends, if we want to get this through faster, here's the best way to do this. If I were Katie while she were talking, I'd be Googling it, or one of your other ones. I would be trying to figure out whatever we can come up with. And what I would be doing at this moment is I would be rattling off information. And as we're rattling off information about it, I can go, yeah, because I know for a fact that this and this and this and this is usually included. Remember the name of the game?
Muscle weakness and restlessness, lethargy, irritability, seizures, unconsciousness.
Death,
Yeah.
coma, death. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here is the idea of excitability and an action potential. And this is very relatable to medications and how we're going to figure out what's going to happen to the person, right? So in this instance, we have a phase of excitability. So the higher the sodium, the higher the frequency that we create, the higher the excitability in the brain. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we are over, we have too much solute in the system, and it's like salt water. And what happens when you get salt water around lightning? It's a superconductor. That with the beach, concomitant with one another, and maybe a little bit of metal in between. So you physically have the equivalent of the brain and the electrical conductivity through the synaptic railroad, if you will. So this is important because if it is too low, then things are going to go slow. If it is too high, then off to heaven you will fly. This is a simple principle of energy, frequency, and vibrational pattern where we have a flux and then we have to go back into homeostasis. So we're going to need to know what makes it too low and what the symptoms are, too high and what those symptoms are. And we need to recognize that specific to things like diabetes insipidus. So diabetes insipidus, what is the disease? Well, it's not the diabetes you think. Diabetes insipidus, you ready for this one? Insipidus kind of sounds like when a guy needs to go to the bathroom but isn't a lady, and he says, I need to go take a insipidus. So that's my trigger in my brain that lets me know that this is a disease where someone pees so ungodly much that all that is left in the tank is sodium. Remember, this is a balance. This is solute, aka crystals, versus solution, aka fluid, water. And because I am peeing out the water, all that remains are these big rocks everywhere that cause all the problems and clouds my brain and sends all these crazy electrical lightning storms going off. And then I go into a seizure now. Got that? So what have we covered in this one question? We've covered the entire imbalance of the disease process itself, signs and symptoms of hyper versus hypo. We've gone through the range. We've gone through, I believe, labs that we need to obtain and watch out. And we also went through body system of endocrine and how that has to do with thyroid. So I have collectively covered a potential of 12 questions in a couple of minutes. See? Efficient. Got it? Want to do another one, or do you want to take a break? Should we take a 5-minute break?
Sure. I'm just trying to write down what you were saying.
Okay,
That
rewind
thanks.
it. Recording it, babe.
I like that too high up to heaven you'll fly. And
I have no idea what I just said, by the way. I never do.
I liked it. No, but I liked it.
Yeah. So what I do is I rattle off and I kind of just travel into my source of information. And I just let it ride. So I like this dynamic of recording it because even though I have to watch myself eat blueberry pancakes and talk through it and be really embarrassed about it, I'm never going to watch it, but it does something for you guys. So cool, whatever. And plus you get to see the humanity, right? Like you get to see me in my home and see what I go through. And you guys talk to me all day, every day anyway. So you know what I go through. So it's nice to remember that I'm not just a machine. I'm also the man, the whoa man, right? That's the whoa. I'm passing the whoa. Get it? It jumped in my cup. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep boogieing. I'm a dork. Awesome. I can't believe they gave me any ounce of power. Cool. We already did this. Let's do that one. Here we go. Ooh, what is that word? Somebody say that word out loud. Anybody got to go? I love this word.
Is it petechia?
Oh, close. Petechia, I'll take. Petechia, I'll take. I don't care. That's beautiful. What does it mean?
That's what I have. Isn't that the
No. There's no phones in class. All right, cool. I understand that because y'all are some slackers. Let me throw that off. I've seen you guys on Facebook. I've seen you on Temu shopping while you're paying attention to what's going on, but you don't learn nothing. And I'm sitting in class going, dude, she's literally giving you questions and y'all don't even know what's up right now. Probably because you in Temu, right? You can get your deals. You know?
That's the like little spots, like the bruise
it's the
looking
blood
spots.
clotting thing, right?
The blood clotting thing. Come on. Work together.
The blood clotting is it's like bleeding under the skin or something.
Oh, that's interesting. So what it is it actually looks like little blood dots, little teeny tiny blood dots. All right, here's petechiae. I don't have one in red. All right, so let's focus in on this area. If I had a red dot, this would be petechiae. Little teeny tiny surface dots. Ooh, let's see if I can get it closer. Can I get it closer? Can I get it closer? Let's see how weird we can go today. This is petechiae. Can you see the dots? Are they forming? I can't see. So it's little dots that pop around, and it is an indicator that there is some significant bleeding going on within the tissues itself. And it's significant because, well, it's not a lot of blood significant. It's significant because it's an indicator and a trigger to let us know something's wrong. Namely, that we have a count that's off. So you want to give it a go and guess. Second off, what is this extra word? And then what does that word mean? Because these are other things we need to talk about. A lot of times we miss stuff because we just don't know what the dumb definitions are. So what is this word? How do you pronounce it? What does it mean?
Ecchymosis?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Ecchymosis. I've taken ecchymosis. I don't care what you call it, as long as you get it. Now, what's the difference between petechiae and ecchymosis?
So would that be more of like a bruise? Like a no, okay.
How do you get that reaction with a smile? How am I the one that's autistic? What is happening?
Okay, so Google says when
Love you so much. I can't because I just missed you.
when purpura spots are less than 4 millimeters in diameter, they are called petechia. When the spots are larger than 1 centimeter, they are called ecmosis.
They are brother and sister. One is bigger and one is smaller.
Mm.
So, petechii, I think the word
Petite.
pet, like little sister, like she's mama's little pet. So she's a bunch of little dots everywhere, right? Like everywhere around my mother is her everywhere. It's annoying, right? Versus ecchymosis. I think of you love me because I'm the ghostess with the mostest, and Beetlejuice is old. Really old, as a matter of fact, right? He's like our version of a Heyoka, if you will, right? Like he's just a trickster, but he's old and he's been doing this for a minute. So that's what I think of when I think of that. Does anybody else have anything? Because these are two things that are going to come back on your exam again, and you're going to need to know the definition, and it's going to screw up your chances to get a good answer if you don't know.
No, honestly.
Okay. We all cool with this question? Can we move on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going real slow because I know that a lot of people that are going to watch this are going to be pretty new to this. And I know that this is going to be beneficial if they choose to watch it. So I want to take it from their level, but also try to get through it because, you know, we've been doing this an hour. We're all probably a little tired. And honestly, I think 2 hours is probably excessive. 1 hour is probably good, but maybe breaking it up at better times. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that we're not stuck watching it for an entire 2 freaking hours. I feel like I can't even stand the sound of my voice for 5 minutes. I can't imagine. God. I tell you what, I dare somebody say you aren't dedicated, huh? I'm just so proud of you all. Uh-oh, this is a big question. What does that mean?
That there's a you don't need all that fluff.
Hmm. What do you know there?
Is it C?
Anybody else?
Huh.
Now, explain this off to me, please. Explain your rationale behind you choosing that answer.
Well, I seen that they are vomiting dark brown foul smelling emesis that should not be there. You should not be vomiting that up. So they probably have some sort of blockage or something is not right. So it needs to come out, but just not out through there.
I'll take that as gospel. Nursing's common sense. It makes sense. If there's a pipe and something's blocked, like hair in a drain, right? Something is in the way. So you have to remove the occlusion. You have to remove the hair.
None of the other ones really make sense. Now that I've like fully read it, none of the other ones really made that much sense.
If I have a blockage, it can only go up. If I have intestines that are so impacted because I have been progressively constipated over a series of time, and it is getting harder as it is going, until I fix that blockage, everything is just going to back up. It is like the episode in South Park. That should be enough of an indicator to make everybody laugh who gets the joke. There you go. Boom. All right. So are we done with this question? Do we need to ask questions about this question? Do we understand? We need to get this out of this person's body immediately. Bottom line, or they're going to get sick and die. They are literally going to choke on their own feces and die. I've actually had a patient that this happened to them. Here's the sad part. They were only 42. Yeah. Yeah. You want to hear the sadder part? The sucky nurses that had them before I got them were mocking them during bedside report because they were full of, Now, how do you think I handled that? Me being the little dainty thing that I am.
I'm sure you told them.
Oh, it was one of the many epic stories of my existence in this human world. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But you know what? This is what I'm trying to teach you. Look within yourself to find the answers of whatever you know to be true within you, within your soul, within your spirit, within your understanding of creation and the world around you. And then in doing that, you'll realize that everything you thought you knew was a lie, and that the potential for everything around you to be 100% real and perfectly aligned is far less than the rigid potential of, well, excessive amounts of evidence to support the fact that this is probably all a simulation of sorts and this is just a test, much like school. So learn the code, figure out how to answer it so that you can move on to your next moment of glory, whatever that may be, however that may be, to whatever creator you may choose. Because what matters most is the freedom from within. If you don't have the freedom, you have nothing more than darkness, loneliness, despair, angst, anger, self-doubt, arrogance, greed, deception. But if you get that battery and you flip her around, then all of a sudden we click that button, we have access. And then we can transmute that into finding beauty in our pain and traveling that message along to somebody else that reminds us of what we once were and the potential of what they could be because we found it within us. We all good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, too much? Am I getting feely? Am I getting feely? I'm joking. I love you guys. All right, so we got this one done. No questions about it. Let's answer this one and then let's be done for the night. What do you think? Or do you want to keep going? I like the idea of an hour.
I'm good with either. Because I'll probably go back and rewatch this one again if we
That's
are
cool.
done.
Let's do it. That's fine. Let's do it as an hour. And then I won't be able to carve any time for tomorrow because tomorrow I work really, really late. And I start really, really early. Matter of fact, let's see, it's 10. I got to go. I'm going to have 3 hours probably tonight, which is cool. That's my average. So I'll get some sleep. I'll be back. I won't get off until probably 7:30. So let's reconvene. Do you want to do a weekend class, guys? What are we thinking?
Well, that
Yes,
could work.
please.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Yes.
Remember, guys, I am but one person and I have a lot of people that need a lot of help. And I'm also a mom. And I also got little babies and I'm kind of all here by myself. So that being said, use the tools that I've given you to spearhead an event within you to do a self-exploration of your own study habits. Use what I've told you. If it's helpful, perfect, keep it. If it's not helpful, let it go. Like this right here, which needs to be let go, trust me. Okay, cool. So let that one die. So here we are here. Take what you know. While you're doing that, I'm going to continue to investigate what your side of things looks like. So don't forget, if you have a copy of that report, give me a copy of your exit and let me know what that looks like, or whatever other one you've had that hasn't gone very well, so that I can review it from, previous times if that's the situation, so I can see the trend. Remember, the great thing about autism is you're really good at numbers and crunches and statistics and codes. Like, those was what you do, right? So give it to me. It's kind of a jam for real. So can we do Saturday morning at like 8 a.m. to like 10 or 8 to 9, and then I can do another one at like 8 to 9 at night. Would that be appropriate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
works
works.
for me.
Okay, so let's do Saturday, and that's going to be December the 9th. Let's do, what did I say, 8 to 9 or 9 to 10? Help me out.
8 to 9, I thought.
8 to 9, cool. So 8 to 9, we're going to do exit, HESI. And then we're going to do 9 to 10 a.m. I will do farm. Now listen to me very carefully, this farm business. I was told specifically I need to go ahead and do a farm class. I'm cool to do it. I don't care. The problem is no one's showing up. So it's kind of a waste of my time because remember, I have an assistant who I have to call over and, you know, she works, so I pay her. So when I do that, there's some money lost. That's not the big picture. The big picture is remember the ripple that you create around you, which is why I'm so cold and calculated. And a lot of times I go through some serious situations on a personal level, and a few of you hear about them and you're like, how are you here? Why are you here? Because when bad things happen, my kids need me most. And it doesn't matter about me because I don't matter. Now, don't take it as, oh, I don't matter. Oh. No, flip the battery, calm down. I'm saying that I am okay from within. So I'm good. I don't matter. Let me help you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for a human experience with you. Very simple. My whole entire life has been dedicated to the service of you, to serve your house. You may read my resume if you want to refute that. You will be incredibly wrong and will waste your time reading way too much stuff that does not matter. All that matters is this existence, this moment. Cool. Questions. Saturday, 8 to 9, exit HESI. That is AM and PM. 9 to 10, we're going to do farm. That is AM and PM. If nobody shows up on farm, I'm killing farm. It's done. Cut at the head. We're going to kill it. Questions? No? All right, do we want to answer this one then be done? Get the heck out of here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. What do we got? Excuse me.
A? I don't know. That's not. Okay. A.
Okay, you answered. You answered a question. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, girl. Calm down. It's fine. All right, listen. MI means what?
Heart attack.
Heart attack, active, bad, serious. Okay, cool. What's the last thing I want to do when that heart rate is stupid? What's the one thing that you need to learn? If you got crazy going on, the last thing you want is crazier. Also, you know how to fight crazy? You fight crazy with crazier, because crazy thinks it's crazy until it sees crazier, and then crazy don't want no part of that. I'm just saying. Remember where I come from. I know a thing. So, digressing, I've got a heart that's crazy and I don't want it crazier. So what am I going to make sure that they're not doing?
Keep them not like doing anything extra. Keep them relaxed. Yeah.
That's
So it was between that and A, and the reason why I picked that only was because we were just on the Zoom Tuesday, and it was like I just went with because you're teaching them versus encouraging and assisting.
You're doing the idea of passive versus acting. Cool. I can teach you something.
Yeah.
That's an active action. I'm teaching you something, but if I'm providing you something,
it was between those two, and I kept going back and forth, and I just held on to like the teaching, and that's the only reason why.
If I teach you something, am I necessarily going to receive anything from it? Especially if I'm not paying attention? No. However, if you provide me with something, now I got some buckets in my hands. You know what I'm saying? Some yards, if you will. So there's that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say court is adjourned. Give me a second. Let me hit the stop button. We're going to stop the share. And we're going to stop all the other craziness. So I love you and I'm proud of you. You're going to do great. And then I'm going to hang around for any like last minute questions. Other than that, go to bed. Be a kid. Be a kid tomorrow. Give yourself 1 hour of just being a absolute ridiculous child. You need to let that kid fly, unlock that cage. They don't need protected anymore. Let them play. Find your joy. When you do, you will find your confidence. Some of you could use a little bit. I'm just saying. Oh, I love you. I'm proud of you. You guys are my blessing. Thank you for letting me have time with you. I'm grateful for you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.